I mean, we've got almost 2 calendar months without them losing a freaking series.
I sent you.
I mean, we're almost at like 2 calendar, like almost. It's 6-7 weeks since they. You sent it to me, and it's incredible to. This is an incredible run.
It's incredible since May 30th. So basically Memorial Day weekend. All right.
Yes.
Since Memorial Day weekend, give or take. Split against the Mets, one against the Giants, split against the Padres. One against the Angels, one against the White Sox, one against the Nationals. Lost to the Phillies, lost to the Twins. Then
okay, do you know the date of the Twins?
June 25th, 26th, and 27th. Okay. Now we're into late June. Won a series against the Oakland A's, the Dodgers, the Padres, split the Braves, won the Blue Jays, won the Cubs, won the Royals, won the Pirates, won the Nationals, won the Pirates, won the Guardians, won the Phillies, won the Rockies. Gambo, in their last, what's the total number here? They have won or split 19 of their last 21 series after winning.
After Colorado, they got the Rays, then they get Miami. But you got Boston, you got the Mets, you got the Dodgers, you got the Giants.
It's a little tougher.
It's going to end.
Yeah.
Like this streak is going to end. But it's going to be remembered as one of the truly great streaks. I mean, almost 2 months of baseball. Like if they could win the series against the Rays and win the series against Miami, by the time the Boston series ends, it's 2 full months since the Twins series.
Since they lost the series.
If they could go the next 2 series, if they don't lose the series to Tampa or Miami, then you're talking about even if they lost the Boston series, it's 2 full calendar months without them losing a series. Incredible.
I want to see if you agree with this. I stumbled upon an article today on CBSSports.com, and the Diamondbacks are getting lots of love right now, as they should. They've got the second best record in baseball since the All-Star break. Remarkably, the Padres and the Dodgers are the first and third best records since the All-Star break. And it was the whole article was how the streaking Diamondbacks got into playoff position. 5 ways the reigning NL champs turned this season around, okay? And I want to see if you agree with these 5. And I don't even know if these are in order or not, but here are the 5. Number 1, Corbin Carroll is back to being himself.
True, but a lot of these wins, he was not himself through a lot of this. It's only been, the last few weeks with Corbin?
With Corbin, it's been, look, his numbers since the beginning of June have been better. His numbers since about mid-July have been really good. Like his numbers for about the last 5 weeks or so have been almost to the same pace that he was at a year ago in terms of his overall numbers. So these last...
It's important. He's hitting a lot of triples. He's gotten some power back in his bat. I don't know if that would be is that listed as the number 1 reason?
I don't know if they're in order or not, but that is listed as the number 1 reason. Corbin Carroll is back to being himself. I wouldn't put that number 1 either.
Okay, I wouldn't put it number 1 either.
It's in my 5, but I don't know if I'd put it number 1. Number 2, Josh Bell has stepped in for Christian Walker.
It's a big reason. I mean, you suffer a big loss. One of your best players, great defensively, great offensively, middle of the lineup bat, protection in the lineup for everybody else, and you go out and you go get Josh Bell for nothing.
Okay.
For nothing. Amazing.
Number 3, Jake McCarthy and Eugenio Suarez have raised their game.
I think a big part of it is Suarez. I think Suarez coming around, great defensively, was having a terrible year offensively, striking out all the time. Batting average was 190. You didn't know, they were twice they were on the verge of getting rid of him. 2 times they were on the verge of getting rid of him. And I'm telling you right now, if Jordan Lawler doesn't get hurt in the minor leagues, I don't know that Suarez is on this roster right now. That is absolutely one of the big turnarounds for them.
Yeah, I think it's a pure direct correlation between when they really started having success. It was tied a lot to Gino Suarez finally turning his season around. I think it's one of the big, and then of course Jake McCarthy the last couple of weeks. Number 4, the pitchers are getting healthy, and they talk about, as you would expect, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, et cetera, et cetera.
3 games. I would say no on that.
I would agree.
I would say no on that. I mean, it's 3 total games out of this 2 months of winning.
Yep, I would 1,000%. This does not belong on the list. They are not back in playoff contention because their pitchers are getting healthy. They're projected to do great things from here on out because their pitchers are getting healthy, but they're not here because of that. Number 5, the new look bullpen is very deep. They talk about Martinez. They talk about Puck. They talk about Ryan Thompson and Kevin Ginkel and Joe Mantiply. I mean, they even mention Justin Martinez and how well he's done. They acknowledge that Paul Sewald has been removed from the ninth inning and he's not the closer anymore right now. But they really prop up the additions of Puck and Dylan Floro and talk about how many different options the Diamondbacks have coming out of the pen.
On June 13th, the starting rotation for the Diamondbacks, Jordan Montgomery had an ERA of 6.58. Slade Ciccone had an ERA of 6.7. Brandon Pfaadt was at 4.6. Ryan Nelson was at 5.96. And Tommy Henry was at 5.58. That was the Diamondbacks' current starting rotation on June 13th. Montgomery, Ciccone, Pfaadt, Nelson, Henry. And the only guy that had an ERA under 5.5 was Brandon Pfaadt at 4.60. Yes, getting Gallen back and getting Gallen right was a big thing, and Pfaadt coming around was a big thing, and Ryan Nelson's turnaround was a big thing. I think the starting pitching has been a big issue there. And then the bullpen as well, because you just mentioned the bullpen. Having four guys that you can count, because the bullpen had been a problem, but it really wasn't the back-end guys as much as it was the middle guys.
This list is missing Ketel Marte, and I don't know how Ketel Marte isn't one of the five. I mean, if just five reasons why the Arizona Diamondbacks got back into playoff position, Ketel Marte has to be number one on the list, right? Has to be. Has to be.
I think something's missing, and I don't know how I can quantify it or how I could explain it, but I'm trying to go back and look a little bit. The Diamondbacks got back to playing Diamondback. I think to me the number one thing was, God, they were so sloppy and they were terrible defensively, and Blaze Alexander couldn't pick up a ball and throw it, and they were so bad at base running and defense in the early part of this. Remember how many times they were getting picked off base?
Sure.
Going from first to third. Just a lot of boneheaded plays. And we'd come in here every day and be like, that's not Diamondback baseball. That's not Diamondback baseball. There's no chaos. They're not creating any chaos. It was like with not having Perdomo, not having, some of your key guys, we were watching a baseball team that was just really lost, and they weren't playing the way that we expected them to play. And so I think that is the number one thing to me, is they got back to they no longer beat themselves.
They rediscovered their identity, is what you're saying.
Yes, in a roundabout way.
And I don't rediscovered their identity.
But I don't have a stat to back it up. I don't have this is how many errors they made and how many base running blunders they made. I don't have it, but I remember time and time again us coming in here and be like, this isn't D-back baseball, and Lovello apologizing for the fact that this wasn't Diamondback baseball when you come on the show with us, because you're watching a team that would just make mistake after mistake after mistake in the field and on the base paths.
That's a good one. This is a good list. It's pretty close. I think missing what you're talking about, missing Ketel Marte, I think that's where the list is a little bit incomplete.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.